So our panelists are Anderson Biss, Business Solutions Manager at Vale, and Rodrigo Marinho, Senior Director, Support and Services, LATAM, at Hexagon. You've been on this journey at Vale for 5 years or so, collision avoidance. What have you learned along the way? What did you have to do, and what have you learned?
It was a long journey, right, at Vale. Actually, we started to implement the collision avoidance system many years ago.
Yeah.
And with many different alternatives of solutions, right? And each mining has the accountability to implement their own solution, right?
Right.
And 5 years ago, we were able to put together more than 200 initiatives that we have across the organization in a single program, right?
Yeah.
Everything that was concerning health, safety, or environmental, we put together in a program that is called Health and Safety and Environment Program, right? By doing that, we were able to connect the program with the main KPIs that we have across the organization, right? And connect with the strategy that we have in place. So it's been an amazing job so far, right? And as a foundation for that, we were able to connect with the value, the most important value that we have on our company, which is life matters most, right?
Right.
So it's been exciting for myself to be leading this program nowadays, because I wake up every day trying to make the life of our employees more safe.
And where do you stand now? How many vehicles are affected? More broadly, how have you been doing?
I would say that 100% of the vehicles that are inside the mining area nowadays must have the collision avoidance system.
Right.
It was something that we implemented through the program.
Rodrigo, when Vale came to you to talk about this, what did you do first? What did you have to do first, and then what have you done since?
That's a great question. First of all, it's an honor to be on stage with Anderson, you, Jeff. Thank you for the audience for the invitation.
Right.
The privilege to be here. Well, Hexagon achieved 65,000 mining vehicles protected with CAS in the world, which is a great number, over 150 mines that we are working with.
Right.
And Vale was a special, very special mine, because we started 5 or 6 years ago. We did a full assessment with Vale. And as our CEO and our president, Rodrigo, always says, we don't deliver product, we deliver the solution.
Right.
So when we had the chance to go to Vale, we listened to them very often.
Right.
We had the privilege to install over 5,000 units in Vale in the last 3 or 4 years. So we have multiple experiences and multiple information from many mines that they are dealing with.
Right.
And of course, we are adapting our solutions also for Vale needs.
Right.
So recently, we have done very great work with Vale Itabira, which is a mine in the south of Brazil, regarding using the data that the CAS collect to put the next step on their process. So for example, you can identify if the operators are stopped on the stop signs. You can identify if they are running on the right speed. You can do more than in-cab protection when you are together in this journey with the client.
Right. So once again, we're seeing the importance of something we've been talking about really all morning, which is the importance of lots of data to enable you to do this, right? So you had lots of data from Vale, and you had lots of data from other sources as well?
Sure.
Yeah.
And qualifying this data is the key thing.
Yeah.
Because we have plenty of sensors. When you install a CAS system, the first thing you get is a real measure of how safe you are in your mine. Because you can, in seconds, you can get all the vehicles' interactions, their speed, their directions. So this data can be used to analyze the high critical incidents and also the behavior of the operators and the behavior of the mine. So we can conclude that you can improve mine design, you can improve mine processes. So it's a really good journey when you can protect people in cabin, but you can also use the information to go further.
Yeah. Anderson, I can imagine human beings being the way we are. Some of them might resist this, right? They don't like being electronically viewed and so forth. Did you experience this, and how did you respond?
I would say that 100% of the human beings are resistant, right?
Right.
So we are resistant to start, right?
Right.
And what changed the game, in our point of view, is show to them how can those technology could help them to improve the day-to-day activities, right? To make sure that they are more safe, right? We still having some accidents across our operation, right? And when we are talk about safety, right? 0 is our target all the time. We can't have one accident. We're still having accidents, unfortunately, right? But it's really important to educate them, right? To work with them, to do the right change management, to make sure that they are on our side, right? Instead of against the technology. This is really important.
Right. And so is there a training process, or are you just explaining it to them, or what?
It's really important the way that we structure that, right? Because we need to make sure that we are talking their language, right? We cannot go there with, for instance, for the operators who are able just to speak Portuguese, which is the case in Brazil, right? And try to implement something that it's with a lot of slangs in English or something like that, does not work, right? We need to make sure that we are speaking their language, work with them, doing training on the job, and make sure that they adopt 100% of the solution, right?
Right. And can you give us some kind of report on what you have achieved so far? I mean, do you know how much you have probably avoided? How do you measure these things?
Yeah, it's really important because one of the targets of the program, it's being data-driven, right? So we are collecting all the data that we have. For instance, regarding the accidents, which were the most causes of accidents that we had on the past. And we invested our technology and our money and our time on those critical activity requirements, right? We implemented the critical activity requirements a few years ago at Vale, and we were able to qualify better the accidents that we have. And once we have this qualification, we were able to see where we were having more accidents and invest money there. And you can see on the graph right now, if you look 5 years back, and you can see the drop on the number of accidents that we had regarding those technologies that we implement.
How was the process between the two companies? In other words, back and forth, Anderson, what was it like from you? Or sorry, for Rodrigo.
Well, as I said in the beginning, it's a 5 years journey. So Vale is influenced us in a very broader way. They are always looking to be attaining their needs, and we have to deal with their mines as a specific mines. So we have a methodology, of course, but we are talking to each mine as it has a singularity to implement the system. And from there, we learn a lot. One really good example was the tailgating alarm. They want to control if the operators are respecting the minimal distance between trucks in a queue, which is fundamental for Vale operations. So recently, we focused on this analysis. Again, using data collected from the cabin operation, we can make Vale aware of how many incidents they are having of operators not following the procedures, which is pretty good. We also recently launched a new display in our system. In our latest version, it has the capacity to show the point of impact. How far you are to that object or other vehicle, which has turned into a very nice feature for most of our clients, what includes Vale. So we have a mix of solutions in Vale at the moment as we move with them in this journey in processes.
Yeah, and I mentioned in the intro the idea of level 9, the highest possible level of safety and eliminating these things. How close are we? What will it take to reach level 9?
Good question. Actually, level 9, we call vehicle intervention, is the last resort you have before impact.
Yeah.
So in order to achieve that, you need a very reliable level 8.
Yeah.
It's because you are basically reacting in milliseconds if the operator doesn't respond to an audible alarm.
Right.
So for doing that, you need a solution that is already prepared and the operators trust in the level 8.
Right.
And of course, this is mandatory for the next steps.
Yeah.
Hexagon has already achieved this, globally speaking. It's not a concept, it's a product and a solution, working already in over 1,000 vehicles in the world, in many mines in the world.
Right.
And with Vale, this journey has just begun. 3 years ago, we did a complete demo in one site with 2 types of models of equipment. And now we have a real project with 12 trucks in one of their mines that we are, again, installing in the real fleet, in the real operation.
Right.
So eventually, Vale will use that for next decisions.
Right.
But this is the key moment we are now with Vale.
Right. It's amazing to think about this. Milliseconds that can be detected and responded to. It's amazing.
I agree.
So let me ask you one other thing, which is related to this. I want to ask both of you, Rodrigo and then Anderson, what I've asked some of the other panelists too. 10 years from now, what will we see? What will the state of safety be 10 years from now?
There is no boundaries anymore, right? The technology is coming to the level that there is no boundaries.
Yeah.
If you ask what I want, it's make sure that we have less people exposure to the risks that we have inside the operations.
Right.
Have less people getting injuries on the operations, right? We want to make sure that they are back home safe to their family every day, right?
Yeah.
After their journey.
Yeah.
But we know that there is a journey for that, right? And we want to make sure that we are on the right path.
Yeah.
Right. This is the most important for myself.
Yeah, Rodrigo, 10 years from now.
Yeah, from the technology perspective, I think I can give some points that we are working with already, which is reduce the level of alarm in cabin.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, we all know mining business, the truck has multiple screens, multiple systems deployed inside the cabin.
Yeah.
Hexagon has the power of one strategy, which is basically we're trying to reduce the number of screens, the numbers of operator interaction with technology, and give the right alarm in the right moment.
Yeah.
So this is a trend that we are following as Hexagon. The other thing is that we all know that mining business is coming through autonomy and autonomous trucks and autonomous solutions. But to achieve that, they will need hybrid solutions.
Right.
So semi-autonomous, teleoperation, VIS, vehicle intervention, they are all part of this journey of the next level, the next 3 or 5 years at least,
Right.
to achieve zero harm. So safety will be always involved. We already have CAS solutions working in mines that are fully autonomous.
Right.
Because autonomy is not just about the truck, but the mine concept being autonomous involves many brands, involves people, involves other light machines. So CAS has been used in these mines as well. So I see that this is the trend that is going to be the next at least 3 or 5 years in mining technology point of view.
We are going to move now to what I mentioned earlier, which is a talk focused on Hexagon CAS and Vehicle Intervention System, VIS, and the drive to reach this level 9 that we've been talking about. The presenter is Christian Shore, Senior Product Manager at Hexagon. Christian, take it away.
CAS is installed on more than 60,000 vehicles worldwide, and it's coming up with a smart antenna that is mounted on the vehicles, and it has a in-cab display which shows the operator what's around him. It was mentioned there's level 7, which is awareness. So on this screen you see, as an operator, all the vehicles, all the opponents which are around you. while on the right side it would show the distance to the proximity opponent, which can also be a person. You see, in case a proximity happens, the system escalates to an alert. That is what is called level 8. Thank you. This is what is called level 8, when the system alerts the operator to give advice. Now, the art of collision avoidance is to know when a system should alert and not alert. And there, of course, our almost 20 years of experience in CAS helps to make the system to be adopted to any mine site situation. And as Rodrigo mentioned in the past, a few minutes ago, that a solid level 8 is required before we go into level 9, which is vehicle intervention. Because level 8 for mines might have different meanings. Level 8, some customers would like to see alarms in certain situations. And the good thing is, with our almost 20 years of experience in CAS, we have all the options and the flexibility to make the system accustomed to any situation in the mines. On that solid state, we can build up our VIS. VIS comes as level 9 on top of the antenna and the display. And then the vehicle stops within milliseconds based on a time to impact estimation.